Hey YouTube family, this is Denny Cards coming at you from Westchester. I just took a Metro North Railroad from Bleecker Trading. I've been there 3 nights in a row. I went from never having been there to 3 consecutive trade nights. I love that tonight there was no actual official trade night over there, and people just gravitated towards there after dinner, and it was just so fantastic. I can't wait to make these vlogs for you daily, like day one, day two, day three recaps of Fanatics Fest. For now, I'm just gonna do these little recap videos, try to stick to around 15 minutes. I want to show you some pickups, and I'll kind of go through my day chronologically of what happened today so that I could kind of process and just kind of hopefully go to sleep so that I can have an early start for Sunday, day three of Fanatics Fest. So, having said that, I will start by saying I think I slept about 4 hours last night. It's like a first world problem, right? It's like little sleep because you want to have as much fun as possible with your hobby family. So today I did end up in the morning going to the East Coast National in White Plains, New York, in Westchester County. I was there for about 2.5 hours. I paid $15 in general admission, and I did make some small deals, but more than a deal is just kind of talking to the dealers, kind of getting, just seeing who was amenable. This was definitely much a traditional card show, and I think it was 300 plus tables, but essentially there was just much more vintage baseball, more binders, more white boxes, and there were some dealers who were kind of like not willing or interested in looking at making a deal, like a potential part cash, part trade deal. That's kind of how those are the type of deals I like the most is, give something, give something in cards, give something cash to get maybe a better card or trade down, trade up. I think the most important thing, having been on that side of the table, is just continuing the conversation, because if someone comes up, they can easily just walk away, and you don't know if there could have been a potential deal. Just even if you're not interested in the cards, even when I have kids come over, I want to look at their stuff and I want to give them shine. I want to tell them, hey, really nice collection, really cool cards. And I do mean it. Like, I'm not just trying to, but I also don't want to like say, oh, these cards are not in the right holder. They're not in the right, they're damaged. Like, I'm not here trying to make someone feel bad about their collection. So having said that, I think some of the dealers at the East Coast National were just maybe a little bit more traditional, a little bit more like, I want to move this. I only want to move the cards that I brought. I would just want to sell them. I want to get rid of the cards. And also people who are just inflexible in their pricing. And there's a big difference between, because I saw a lot of kids at the East Coast National who are like, what's your best? Walking up to a table, just not even a high, just what's your best? With cards that have stickers, not cards that have like no sticker, cards that have stickers, what's your best? Then they'll say, well, it did X and, XYZ on such and such date. And it's like, well, could have just started with a counter. And then of course they leave just like they came in. It's like a hurricane. They just come in and leave. They don't say goodbye. They don't say thank you. And I wasn't even a dealer. It was just me observing people around me kind of like acting that way. And it's something that I really lament seeing in the hobby. And I didn't even think about talking about that for this recap video, but something that kind of stuck with me because it definitely was like a regional, uh, you know, uh, card show, very traditional regional card show, with maybe just more rigid or inflexible dealers. Some nice dealers, some really nice dealers, and people I really appreciated. So when you see my vlog, I don't want it to just be like it was all terrible. It was a traditional show, and there's such a big place for that. And I'm sorry I couldn't make some deals with some people. And I wasn't going in there just like lowballing everyone. I just want to make sure that people feel good about the deals on the other side as well. But yeah, I was there for about 2.5 hours, and I knew that I just had to go to Fanatics Fest. That's where a lot of my hobby family is. I did get to see Cage Lawyer before I left, so that was a nice little plus. I did see Chuck CMB break CMB cards. and I saw the team of Black Jaded Wolf. They were very nice. And then it was time to take the train, the 90 minutes to 2 hour trek down to Fanatics Fest. And I got there a little bit after lunchtime. First thing I did was I stumbled upon Ryan Stu from Gemrate, and he's been on my podcast 3 times. Just a wonderful, wonderful guy, providing so much value to the hobby, to the hobby community. And then we went, I did like maybe a quick 15-minute podcast guest appearance on Cards to the Moon podcast. If you don't know them, check them out. They're a really good podcast. One of the most listened to podcasts in the hobby. And so we had a quick podcast recording. And then I think we went up to Hobby Hall. And so I had 3 goals, I remember. One was to consolidate. Second one was to, the people just continue to have conversations, make new connections. We definitely did that. I got to meet Sports Card Strategy. Some of you may know him. There's so many people I met today that I'm going to forget their names, or I'm going to forget because it is 3 a.m. So when you see the vlog that comes up, I hope you see that, I'll point out people. And it was just so good to see so many of you. Some of you just came up and were just like, thankful for the content that I make, and that means the world to me. It really, really, really does. Because I'm just like one of you. Like, I'm just a average collector who, I love the creative side of things, but I come into this. I'm a budget collector. I don't overextend myself. I try to be as fiscally responsible as possible, and that's hard in this day and age with social media, with a lot of FOMO, with a lot of like comparison stuff. It's really easy to just kind of feel inferior with your collection. And so I just, wanted to say that when those feelings start to occur, it might be good to just kind of take a step back from social media, take a step back from the hobby. It's sometimes you got to step back to move forward. So I ended up oh my gosh, my brain. Consolidate, I did it. I'm going to show you the cards that I got. I won't show you the cards that I did say goodbye to, but out of the 26 cards that I brought to Fanatics Fest, I probably only have 3 cards left. I had a huge cash out of a really strong buying. Some people are like, oh, look, and we'll give you money. Some people lowball, some people were giving like 60-70% of comps or whatever it was. But when you see my vlog, Giant Sports Card, shout out to them. They gave me a really nice payout at 90% for a lot of the cards, so I really appreciate that. Having said that, meeting the people, met a lot of people. The third thing was doing the activations, doing the WWE ring entrance, playing some basketball, hockey, football. I really wasn't able to do any of that. I feel so bad. But the Saturday was so packed that it was much more packed than Friday, that the lines were just so long. I was able to get my own card made. I'll show that later. So I did stay in line for a couple of things, but ultimately I was not able to achieve my third goal. I do have day 3, Sunday morning, if I get there early enough and the crowds aren't as, maybe they pick up later in the day, but I'm hopeful that I'm able to do some of the activations, especially with my hobby family, some great content creators, some really skilled folks, and just like all of you who collect. Like, I met so many people again today who were just like yelled out my name. It's like, and then we would just talk and, maybe make a trade, maybe talk. And even if a trade couldn't work out, we would just have a great time just chatting about the hobby and cards. And so I really appreciated that. So having said that, let me show you some cards, right? These, I had a Instagram video where I showed all of these cards, and I had them in a certain order. I'm going to try and replicate it because I kind of, so I didn't show this card because it didn't make my quote-unquote top 8. But this is a Luminance out of 99, Scotty Barnes auto. I was just so surprised. The comps on this were like $15, but it is a 22-23 Chronicles Luminance. But I think I might try to grade that and see if I can get a little bit of value from that. I picked up this from Chuck on at the East Coast National. I thought I said Fanatics Fest, but yeah, it was the East Coast National. This is a co-signers, Gary Payton and Antoine Walker dual auto. And then I had let's see, I think it was this. It was Charles Barkley Hoops Inc. Premium Stock 2019 20 Hoops Premium Stock Basketball, not numbered. And that came from a hobby friend, I should say that. This one also, I'm kind of going out of order from the Instagram reel, but this one's a 2019 Crown Royale, Anthony Davis, Kaboom PSA 9. Shout out to Toby from Toby Unchained Cards. I got the Charles Barkley and the Anthony Davis. And this, he's been saving this to not gift me, but to sell to me. I saw him with this card 2 years ago, and he always said he wanted it to sell it to me in person. So the Fanatics Fest is when, because he lives in New York, and it was great just catching up with him and chatting with him. I hope you really enjoy his presence when I do the vlog with him, because it was really heartwarming. But thank you, Toby, for selling me. This is at a very, very reasonable price. So it is a Michael Jordan Meltdown BGS 7.5. And then I picked up, let's see, from Black Jaded Wolf. I forget which one of these two, because they are identical, but the labels for PSA are different. And it's funny because the price for both, one was from the Captain 37, Kevin, on Instagram, and then the other one's from Sharon and her team at Black Jaded Wolf at the East Coast National. And this one was one of the two. I cannot remember which one, but I got these two from those two dealers, and so thank you for that. Let's see. I picked up a Raw Power Boosters. I can't remember. We did a coin flip, I think. I'm having such a hard time remembering the name of the dealer. I apologize. But this is Raw. I don't think it's going to gem, because Jordans rarely do, 90s Jordans. I think this could maybe get an 8. A 9 would be terrific, but regardless, I could just keep it Raw too. It just it's a beautiful card. It just shines in all the nice fun ways, and so I'm glad that I was able to pick this up. The second to last pickup that I'll show is a 97 Stadium Club Michael Jordan Heroics Hard Court. I think Instagram called it Hardcore Heroics, and I was like, you know what, I'll just keep it. But yeah, this one's really cool. The back, it talks about hometown heroisms. And then, so you can see that there. Just really cool card. Again, just shines in a very unique, different way. And I love the look of this card. It's just fantastic. Last but not least, it is a 95 Flair New Heights Jordan PSA 9. And wow, this card, I've seen it on Instagram many times. It is just a really cool card. I'm glad to finally have it. I never had this card. And so for it to be now in my Michael Jordan PC collection, it's just fantastic. So this came from, this came from the Captain 37, Kevin, on Instagram. So thank you so much for this wonderful small Jordan lot that I picked up. And so let's see. I think that I went around moving as much as I could, moving some of my, inventory that I was ready to get rid of. I picked up these awesome Jordans. It really was a Michael Jordan day, and I had so much fun just getting to know the dealers. A lot of people I talked to who I would love to have on the podcast. That reminds me, in the line where we were getting cards made from We The Hobby, and I got to try to get one from Filth Bomb Breaks, I think, your own individual card made. But I met the dad of Julian Hall. I think his name is Mr. Lorenzo Hall. And he showed me a picture of a Topps Now card of his son. And he's like, he's the second youngest player in MLS. I think the first is Freddie Adu. And we just got to talking. So it's one of those random chance encounters, right? That happened like at the National, at Fanatics Fest. It could happen in any card show. But the fact that this gentleman, he was just so proud of his son. And again, I'll try to put that up on my vlog. I was like, hey, would your son and you ever want to come on my podcast? And they're like, yeah, sure, let's set it up. Like right now it's a little bit busy with the season, this and that. And I was like, you know what? Respect it whenever we can do it. I would love to know the athlete's point of view when it comes to the hobby. So I just thought, and he was so proud. He said his son signed with Adidas, which is so strong in soccer, and I could see just the glowing pride of this young athlete's dad, and it was really just heartwarming to me. Um, the I spent the majority of time at the hobby hall. I did not take any content. I did not even go to any of the panels. I know there was like this little 40/40 club that was in the middle, that was very exclusive, VIP, and press and exhibitors and general public could not get into this 40/40 club area. But Michael Rubin, and Mike Mahan, and EJ Ferreira, EJ Dynasty Mode, really just knocked us out of the park. Everyone so family friendly, all the attendees, uh like it was an A, maybe even A plus, but so many people were so happy. The people who were maybe not so happy were maybe the dealers, just kind of lamenting that their cards weren't moving, but it's possible that maybe they didn't bring like the right inventory for like the newer collectors who just didn't know, or people who are new to the hobby who just weren't used to like maybe spending more than $100 $200, which could be grocery money or gas money to them. So for those individuals, I don't think they could fathom that if you spent even like say, not on sealed wax, but like if you buy a single for like $100, maybe you could sell it for a little bit more than that, or even if you sell it for a little less than that, it's not like it's a consumable. I think for a lot of the members of the non-collecting world, it's like it's hard for them to comprehend the difference between the I know people collect things like coins, stamps, and they know that if you have something that's tangible that it can appreciate in value. But I know that there were a lot of families I was talking to in lines and just walking around who were just like, it's like $50 plus the processing fee to get in. For family four, that's $200. For some of these families, that's what that's all they want to spend, right? That's with the food and drinks were like $18, like a premium cocktail and all that. So definitely New York prices. But yeah, for these families, they're just like, this is what we want to spend, and that's it. And for them, that was okay. I gave away some kids pack to some kids. I just made them at home, like Mets and Yankees and Giants, little, like commons and kind of like, inserts, things like that. I just made them for kids in the New York area, and I think they appreciated it. I gotta take a little breather, but I'm not gonna pause because I just want to knock this out and go to bed. Um, Quite possibly the highlight of today, the cars, the people, like, I mean, honestly, right before they started asking people to leave, I won't say kicked us out, but asking people to leave, one of my local card friends, Ethan, kind of like yelled out my name, and he's like, "What are you doing for dinner?" And we're just talking about it. And he was working with and traveling with, some of you may know him, Mojo, Jay, who has a great Instagram and YouTube presence, and uh, there were seven of us in total, but we all, including someone from Tops, and again, the vlog, you'll see who it is. But the seven of us went out for dinner. We were supposed to go to an Italian restaurant, but we made a last second audible. I like to call it the Peyton Manning audible because it turned out to be an excellent audible that resulted in a touchdown. But we went to Cat's Deli, just the most amazing, uh, the biggest deli sandwiches I've ever seen in my life, and most delicious, worth the hype, worth the high expectations. Not cheap, but it was completely worth it. So we went to Cat's Deli. I actually ended up getting two sandwiches, did not finish both, but I was able to kind of have some leftovers, um, and actually, I gave it to Mr. Minty, but he didn't want to get it for free, so he gave me some money. I felt so bad, But Mr. Minty, I hope you enjoyed the Cat's Deli Reuben sandwich and the pastrami because they were just excellent. And then from Cat's Deli, we walked over to, now I'm drawing a blank, but we went to one of the most popular or big, famous cookie, I don't know, cookie eatery, in New York City and in the US. So, Levion maybe is what it was called. But we had an amazing time there. And then we walked over to Bleecker Trading to end the night. One person pulled out of the Cactus Jack Tops Chrome, pulled a Travis Scott out of 25, which amazing moment. Everyone was so happy for the gentleman. And then it was time for me to trek back here. I'm probably missing a lot of things. These are all just the things that I could think of for now. I am really excited for day 3. It's gonna be a shorter day for me. I do have a train to catch at Penn Station at 2 p.m. And so I don't know what time I would have to leave for that Javits Center by, but I want to get there as early, as close to 9:30 as possible, so that I have as much time just to kind of do some more fun things. Maybe try to do the activations. I don't have a lot more cards left. I definitely got more cash to spend on Jordans and other fun things, but I cannot believe how awesome today was. I thought day 1 was like excellent, and day 2 just as excellent, if not more. Just the hang session with the 6 others at the restaurant, cookies, walking the bleaker, just talking about life. It wasn't just about the hobby. It was about life, relationships, just how do we get better as content creators. I was sharing some tips with them. They're sharing tips with me. And I was just like, this is so fantastic. This is what it's about. It's about uplifting each other, supporting each other, helping each other. So I just had such a fantastic time with this group of people. So I can't wait to make that vlog. It's going to take me some time because I have so much raw footage to go through. And it is probably about 3:30 right now. I probably blew past my 15 minutes. I can't see the timer. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Sorry if I'm low energy on this or if my voice is going, but this has been so much fun. If you haven't been able to come to Fanatics Fest this time, I hope you come next time. The next regional one is going to be in November in Orlando, which I do hope to try to go to. And if you haven't by now, if you've listened this far, comment below. Thank you so much. Would love to just say hi on Instagram or just find some way to reach out to you. But please subscribe, comment below, like it, share it, whatever. Like, I can't wait for you to see these vlogs. I'm gonna do my absolute best to make them just as good as I can. So thank you so much. Day 2 is in the books. You guys have a good evening, day, whenever you watch this.